Speaker is Michael Lanyon. He's a co-organizer of DevOps Days Chicago and enjoys raspberry pie in the outdoors. They go together. And the talk here is innovation in a creative company. Let me hit the start button. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let me get out of the way. Go.
Cool. So my name is Michael Lanyon. I work in an ad agency called Critical Mass. We're a digital experience design agency with a relentless focus on the customer. We're comprised of 4 primary disciplines: strategy, design, technology, and marketing science. We work together to design experiences for large brands. So we're not a technology company, but as a digital agency, technology is essential to what we deliver. I like to say that software is the delivery mechanism for brand experiences. And our challenge is to have disciplines work together in a way that delivers the most innovative yet intuitive experiences. Creating a culture where the disciplines work together to innovate is difficult. Creating a kata that we practice across disciplines has been exceedingly difficult. Now, if you've been part of the DevOps community for a while, you'll be familiar with the lessons of Deming, Goldratt, and Short. And while I've found their teachings of statistical process control, system of profound knowledge, and theory of constraints valuable, they alone are insufficient to unlocking innovation in our organization. When we look at what drives and delivers value in an organization, we find communication, empathy, and inclusivity. You may be thinking, like, yeah, duh. But I assure you that if it was that simple, our theme for DevOps Days New York would not be what it is. And I wouldn't have spent time putting these slides together. So when we look at one of the ways I look at communication is surprise reduction. People like to know what's going on and what to expect. Secrecy is toxic. We've all experienced this, whether it's not knowing enough context for an assignment or simply not knowing that a project is underway. It seems intuitive to keep others in the loop, but surprise reduction is more than that. It's about understanding what you already know that others may not, and anticipating their needs. This takes a level of effort that goes beyond common sense, but it's well worth the energy. When everyone is on the same page, it's more likely that you'll get diverse creative contribution from all the disciplines. Innovation sprouts from this proactive communication. It just seems to make common sense. I found that curiosity is another key quality for nurturing innovation. When you're curious, you want to know how things work. You want to know what motivates people. And I believe curiosity to be an innate quality of intrinsically motivated people. Curiosity has driven designers to learn how to use the web inspector at Critical Mass. It's driven information architects to understand how JavaScript and CSS power animations. And it drove me to learn about operations. These pieces on the screen were created by my cousin Sarah Walker, who happens to live and work in Brooklyn. And these pieces were inspired about how technology has interwoven itself into our lives. If there's one thing you take away from this talk, reflect on your own curiosities and act on those interests. If you know someone with that talent or knowledge, ask them about it. Start a conversation. Now put yourself on the other side of that interaction. When you're in the position to answer questions or teach, please, please, please take the time to do so. Continuing the conversation will start a relationship that lasts much longer than the dialogue. Now, early in my career, I didn't really value sharing. I wasn't confident enough to share work in progress, and documentation wasn't valued until after it was needed. As I matured, I came to understand how sharing enables the organization to gain knowledge as a whole. I came to understand much more holistically that the creative process depends on sharing. I still struggle with how to keep the sharing feedback loop going throughout the creative process, but the Chicago voting mantra applies. Share early, share often. Imagine communication, curiosity, and sharing ladder into what I believe to be a higher order humanistic quality, empathy. Empathy is understanding and sharing in the feelings of another. Empathy is requisite to innovation, and good design is rooted in empathy. Imagine trying to design a product without understanding the motivation of the consumer. Okay, that's kind of unheard of, but consider the value of understanding and sharing the emotional needs of both your consumers and your fellow team members. At Critical Mass, we not only consider how the software may be received by the operators, for example, but also think empathetically across discipline lines, contextualizing a decision with an anecdote while not hiding the details so that other disciplines can relate to what we do in technology. Now, inclusivity is not to be discounted. It too is requisite to innovation. Ensuring your culture is aware of exclusive behavior and discourages it will allow a more diverse set of contributors and will ultimately lead to greater perspective and thereby innovation. The creative process, supporting structures, and empathetic culture will never be available as a service or written as code. but we can most certainly apply the values that we hold dear in the DevOps community to this challenge and succeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to chat more, I will be here for the next couple days or this earlier.